Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, it's week one themed predictions, I'm guessing, from many of us here. At least I have a couple week one themed predictions. Oh, yeah. Write that down Wednesday on Purple Daily, the only show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions with statistics every single week. And before we do that, let's fuel up, Judd. Let's fuel our cars, our minds, our spirits. Where should we go?
Vroom, vroom, you should go right to Quick Trip, because Quick Trip is the place where you can
mother
fuel up. Vroom, vroom. You stop in, you're like Phil, you're like, oh my, the damn gas gauge, it's near E. What should I do? Well, you should go to Quick Trip.
Keep driving.
You should fill it up.
Yeah,
no,
right.
You should fill it up at Quick Trip. Quality gas guarantee. Stop being foolish. Start being smart. And then while you're there, stop in and look at all the things. I mean, if you're watching this right now and you're saying, Sports Dad, that's a grocery store. And I'm saying, no, that's a Quick Trip. Convenience mixed with everything that you could need. Heck, you can get lunch there. And you know what? If you want to just fill up and not go in, but you want some items from inside, well, then there's the Quick Trip app that you can put on your phone. They will bring it out to you. And as always, when you do stop there, show us, take a quick picture and tweet us at @JZolgad, @ScoreNorth, because we love to see your stop at a Quick Trip. We always appreciate when folks send us their pictures from a Quick Trip.
Amen. Also, today is the return of the quarterback cesspool challenge, which we will do after the Write That Down predictions. We are always on the hunt for the worst quarterback play in the NFL every single week, so stick around for that. So here's how Write That Down works. It's 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable predictions. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns, and if you want to be like Derek and be a guest listener participant, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app. There's a feedback tab, and we will get you scheduled for sometime in the coming weeks. Are you guys ready to be held accountable?
Write this down.
I am.
Let's do
Very
it.
excited.
Season starting.
You ready?
Careers will be made from now through the Super Bowl. Everything up to now.
Yes.
It's child's play. This is when it gets serious.
And yeah, you mentioned Super Bowl, so I should clarify that too, that the season runs from Super Bowl to Super Bowl. So we've turned the corner. We're definitely in the second half of the season, and now business is about to pick up. Let's start with Judd. We'll start with the bad. You said Nick Mullins would be traded before the regular season opens up.
Yeah, that could have been taken off the board the day that J.J. McCarthy came in and said, my knee hurts. My knee hurts. Somebody look at my knee.
Jake Browning will be the starting quarterback for a team in week one. You got really excited about like a Jake Browning performance back in
Well, I thought he'd be moved.
November.
I thought he might get moved.
Sure.
Well, he started against the Vikings, right?
Yeah. And he do the they should have never effing cut me.
got a little
And
high.
I thought he might get moved
Got a little hottie.
and then started elsewhere.
That was his Super Bowl that went over the Vikings.
That was his. I mean, and good for him.
Yeah,
He'll always have that moment.
He'll always have that. Yeah.
The only healthy quarterback to throw passes in the night scrimmage when the rest of the QBs, including Cousins, were quarantined because they all had been exposed to COVID and didn't have the vax. That was that practice. That's a practice that is, if you want to go through the Zimmer tirade timeline, that is high on the timeline.
Did we just list the 2 best moments of Jake Browning's career, by the way? Beating the Vikings as Bengal starter and then rifling 200 passes as the only healthy quarterback at night practice.
It was just because he was vaxxed. He wasn't even healthy. He was just vaxxed, and the rest of them weren't, so they put him in a room together.
By the way, if you have thoughts on the vaccine, just comment in the YouTube comment section here, Purple Daily.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I was just bringing it up as a matter of the sport. Oh no! Now we're gonna.
If you have strong takes on politics or vaccinations, throw them in that comment section.
Sorry I mentioned it.
That's okay.
Sorry I mentioned it. It just bothered Zimmer.
You said Greg Joseph will not be on a 53-man roster to open the NFL season. Nice job. Yeah. Your Greg Joseph hate paid off with a correct prediction here.
A late release too.
And then Blake Brandel will be a starting guard for the Vikings in week one after signing that little contract.
I'll take it.
So a couple wins. couple things came off the board for me. Neither of them good. I said Devontae Adams or Brandon Ayuk will be a Jet by week 1. I should have said by the trade deadline. It would have kept the Devontae Adams thing alive, but alas. I said the Vikings will add a wide receiver to their team before week 1. They stuck with their group from basically OTAs and minicamp. Okay, over to listeners. Chad said Kwesi will make at least 2 trades before the start of week 1. He didn't make any.
Yeah, they didn't make any trades. I think they tried, but they were unsuccessful.
And then our guy TikTok Dustin said the Vikings will cut or release a starter from the 2023 team by week 1. He said at least 8 starts from last year. I don't think they did. Like this was like post free agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this would have been like if Dalton Reisner had been released, I think.
Yeah.
Well, did Dalton Reisner even make 8 starts? Like I don't even know if Reisner.
Yeah, he might not have, but I'm saying he was as close as you could get to being like a name that I thought was in jeopardy being let go.
Unless I'm missing something, I don't think this happened.
At least 8 starts? No, there's no one.
Andrew Booth didn't make 8 starts.
Scene didn't make any starts.
Scene didn't make any starts.
Yeah, Booth might have made like 1 start last.
James Lynch, he didn't
play last year.
Yeah. So
no, I think you're fine.
And then TikTok Dustin said by the start of the season, the Vikings will change their uniform. I'm going to give him the whiteout uniforms here. It's kind of a technicality, but they did like introduce a new uniform to the fold. So unless somebody wants to fight, Judd looks like he wants to disagree.
Well,
here.
I'm just thinking about what my completion percentage is right now, and the listeners are like. Ordinarily, I'd allow this to slide, but I don't think I can.
I think generally the listeners could use some completion percentage help, and so
since when do we take pity on people on this show?
That's a good point.
No,
if you want to put up a formal protest, we could get lawyer Chase involved.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
And then Declan, close your eyes here.
Whoa.
This is kind of a bloodbath. Declan said the Vikings would acquire a running back who has at least 5 touchdowns between last week and this week's week 1.
Oh.
You said.
Well, by the way,
Declan processing
this is the
right
correction that the rest of us needed right now.
Because Dex was over 50%
Yeah,
completions for the entire first half of the season.
Your great draft performance,
Yeah.
we needed a correction to that.
I do see one of these that actually I will have to dispute, but I'll let you get to it.
Okay. A current Vikings quarterback will be acquired or picked up by the Giants before the week 1 matchup. Jaron Hall was available for...
Yeah. I thought they were going to... Same thing with, speaking of the Jake Browning talker we just had, I thought that'd be a similar thing, because that's what the Bengals did before they played the Vikings in 2021, I believe.
Yeah. And then Sam Darnold's name will surface as a trade candidate by a credible source between a few months ago and week 1.
Yeah. I didn't see anything.
You said the Vikings would acquire a player who was a former 1st or 2nd round pick by week 1. Is this the one you want to fight?
Stephon Gilmore, 10th overall pick.
Backdoored it. Didn't think about that, but you're right. Let me go into the database here. It's funny because I think in my mind it was Scrap Heap Kwesi digging around for like a Jerry Tillery or
I
a
will
N'Keal
say,
Harry or somebody.
No, you're right.
I think a listener pointed this out like a week ago, and I was like, in classic, in a Judd way, I was like, I forgot I made that prediction. So when this came off the board, I was like, okay, I'll make sure if it hit or not, because it went over my head because I thought it'd be another Jalen Reagor type or some slappy player, but no, it's Stephon Gilmore, 10th overall pick in 2012.
Yeah, same year. In fact, he was taken in the same first round as Harrison Smith.
By the way, this does, unless somebody wants to fight here, I believe that's a touchdown just because of the specificity and the timeline. It was like a 3-month window for the Vikings to acquire a player that was a former first-round pick. So this goes from an incorrect one to a correct completion and a touchdown. Again, unless somebody wants to fight it. And for those who are new, the touchdown and on the OG edition, because we do this on Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd too, it's basically, is there a 25-ish% chance or less of something happening? Like, is it, if you make a prediction that is pretty unlikely, like highly unlikely to take place, and it happens, There's no real like.
Although you could contest this because what I see in front of me on the screen is a former first or second pick. Stephon Gilmore was what, 10, you said?
I just read what's on the prompter.
I don't see round. I don't see round. Lawyer Chase, I don't see the word round.
I'm going to give Declan credit that he said round pick and typed it in wrong to the database.
I think the guy that types it in, if he types it in wrong,
I think the completion percentage of me misspelling things in these accountability sessions is also very, very high. So
Dude, there's a couple in here from years ago
that are just.
I feel like it's improved.
I had to take a couple off that like I have no idea from like last year.
Yeah,
let me find this.
Fine. Oh god,
there was one. I don't know. I can't find it now.
It's okay.
I will say it's a lot more. It's a lot trickier too when like if Phil's ever out and it's just me, Judd, and like I'm a little bit more focused on like the show. Like my attention is definitely not as locked in as it is when we're at full strength.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mental energy to guide this show every single day.
Dang right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm QB3. I don't want to be QB1. I'm good being QB3.
Being QB2 is awesome. I got no problem with that. I go to a lot of games. I prep and drink tons of coffee. It's awesome.
And then Declan's final one here was there will be a new addition and subtraction from the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show. So this morning, just to clarify, we're like 3 days away. I went to their official Fox NFL Sunday, their like landing page, and it's all the same characters, all of them. It's Jimmy, it's Howie, it's Terry.
The only thing, and I hate to be this person, unless there's an untimely death between now and Sunday, but I also said addition. Right, I didn't say just a subtraction.
Yeah,
I wanted a replacement.
And they wouldn't make the addition now. It wouldn't be
that'd be such
a release from Fox. Terry Bradshaw died last night. Please welcome aboard, Matt. Please welcome aboard.
Yeah. They could do like if they do like a surprise edition, we can obviously revisit this. But
no, it's good.
So with that, Declan's actually at, let me check the spreadsheet here, 44% completions on the year. It says 43 on your screen, and 6 touchdowns. Judd's at 38.5%. I'm at just under 32%. Listeners, 26.5%. And then career, Declan just above 37% completions. Judd 35.5. I'm at 33. Listeners just below 23%. And Declan has tied me with 47 touchdown passes now. Career stats going back to 2021. So, okay, there's your accountability session. And let's get Derek in here, making his first appearance as a guest listener predictor. Where are we at? Are we like hiding from, are you in the work parking lot hiding from bosses, or what's going on right now?
Yes, exactly that.
Just keeping a low profile.
You can't say much.
Yeah.
It's bugged. You got to be careful.
Not twice if you're concerned about being fired for doing this.
Just taking an early break here.
So you have a special request for your predictions, which we will get to. But first, tell us, what's your background as a Vikings fan? How'd you get hooked on this team?
I grew up in South Dakota, and my dad was a big Vikings fan. So just kind of my whole life, I've been watching them and following along. So I've just been a lifelong fan. My first core memory was I was 9, I believe, was 1998. Gary Anderson missing the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad just throwing a tantrum. So that's kind of my first core Vikings memory.
It's always
so it started off a little rocky.
Stuff flying around the house.
Yeah.
It's always a good one if you're looking for your first emotional train wreck moment as a child. That was the first time sports like really showed itself to me, the evil side of sports. I cried for probably 3 hours in my room, 12 years old. It was bad. So, Derek, your request is that you would like to make predictions about each one of us, and it's predictions about what we will do on today's show. Is that correct?
Yep, I want them all to come off today, and I'm going to make predictions on what you're going to predict and some of what you're going to say.
And then, so you're going to make your predictions. We can each take our headphones off, and then you'll stick around to see if these pay off.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's. This is unprecedented here. We're going to have Derek rattle off 3 straight predictions. Let's start by having Declan take off his headphones.
Okay.
And then Derek, you make, or do you want to do it the other way? Does it make sense for Declan to go last? Does it matter? You're the official logger, so Dex.
Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't
Okay.
matter to me. I can,
All right, Derek,
I
pick
can
a
take these
victim.
off.
Let's go with Judd first.
Okay.
Okay.
Headphones off, Judd.
Hold on. I'm going to mute this as well.
Hold the-
It's always an adventure.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. I don't know how to quantify it, but I think it's just something you'll know it when you hear it. I think Judd's been a little too positive lately, and I think he's going to change his tone today. So write this down. He will make a negative prediction today. So missed field goals, a bunch of turnovers, something like that.
Okay.
Or I'm going to hedge a little bit. Dallas Turner's been kind of a forgotten person. He was a first-round pick, second defensive player off the board. I think he's going to kind of come around on him and make a Dallas Turner prediction. So a negative prediction or a Dallas Turner prediction.
Okay. Okay, Judd, you can rejoin the party here.
And mute yourself.
All right, let's see if it happens here. Let's see if he does it.
All right.
Careful, Judd. Be careful.
What?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Huh? What?
Oh.
Huh?
Is it going to happen? Okay,
All I
who's
was
your
doing was reading my sports page, okay? With my cup of coffee. Just like any
and
other.
reading lips. All right, who's
I can't
who's
read.
next?
I wish.
We can go with Phil next.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Hold on here. Oh, wait.
No, I think
He's got to turn off his. Yep, he's working on it.
He's doing more work than I do. To
Yeah,
buy
usually
down.
this is
I just hit
unprecedented
I
stuff
just
here.
hit the mute thing. I can't hear
Okay.
anything.
I think he's all right.
All right, go ahead.
Fire away,
Good.
Derek.
Okay. So I want this to be a touchdown. Let me know if it's not enough,
Okay.
and I'll make a tweak. Phil, before the end of the show, will say the name Kirk Cousins or some iteration of his name. Kirk, just Cousins, Kirky boy, something like that. Is that enough?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because hold, wait. Though.
Okay.
We're doing the quarterback cesspool challenge.
Ooh.
So I feel like you need to add just in case he picks him because there's a chance for a touchdown. I feel like
Okay.
you need to add something else to the context because there's a chance he picks him. Because
So I will. Yeah, I'll go. He'll make a Kirk Cousins prediction. And off the record, I think it's going to be a Zimmer Kirk matchup in November. But I think his name comes out of his mouth today.
Okay, so in the write that down, he will make one of his three predictions will be a Kirk Cousins related prediction then.
Correct. Yep.
Touchdown.
Okay, cool.
For
All
sure,
right.
dude. For sure.
All right, you're good. Come back in, Phil.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Phil can come back in, Declan out.
Yep. Here, I'll turn these off and well, hold on. I got to make sure Mackey's okay over there. I don't know. He's changing his carburetor.
He could do his
No,
own
it's
thing.
like
He can do
the
his own
volume
thing.
button. There's not a mute button on my headphones, so I have to manually go up and
There's
down the
not?
volume bar.
Those
No.
headphones
Oh.
gotta cost.
Isn't there like a
like
speaker
$12.
button on,
I mean,
on
I
your
could
bottom?
unplug them, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's like a volume
All right,
up,
okay.
volume down.
All right,
On a,
I won't spend any more time on this.
Yep. All right, let's go.
okay, here we go.
Write that down.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Here we go.
All right. Write this down. Declan will make a prediction based off of a betting line. So over under on scores, player stats, turnovers, something like that, based on some sports books betting line. And I'm going to hedge on this one too a little bit. He will make a betting prediction or a special teams prediction. So like a fake punt or kickoff returns, Will Reichert, something like that.
Okay,
You know
Dex,
what?
come on back. here.
Frightening amount about us. That's all
That's
I gotta
great.
say.
I've been
That's
watching the
spot
show
on.
the first time I watched you guys was the Kellen Mond draft. I actually tuned in right as they were
It was
picking
very
him.
very exciting in the moment. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I actually just rewatched part of it just the other day after they
Wow.
it was last year, right after they released him. I think it was last year.
It was.
And you guys were pretty excited about him.
I think
it was
we
a
were
third round pick.
we
It's
were
just
crawling through the
Cousins-
football desert, just looking for any quarterback under the age of 30 that could have potential.
We did not, in fairness to our show, we did not know that Zimmer stormed out
Hated
of the
him.
building, car keys in hand, and went home after the pick.
We thought Zimmer started to hate Kellen Mond like a few months in or during the season. No, he hated him from the moment the draft card was handed in, storming out of the war room. So Hey, before we continue here and see if these come off the board, Derek, how do you have how much research did you do to make these predictions? Is it just sort of anecdotally? Have you taken notes? Do you have trends and analytics?
I just watch you guys at least a few times a week, so I kind of know your trends and what you say on kind of a daily basis. And I watched all the recent episodes and kind of took what you were talking about and put them in my predictions. So
okay,
I like it.
So you stick around if you got some time here, so you can see if these pay off. All right, and then we'll see what happens. So okay, we'll start with Judd here among the three of us.
Write this down.
Careful, because it's high stakes because you're making your own predictions, but you're also dodging landmines that Derek is laying down.
I sort of admire him for this. So I love this. So in one hand, I don't want to play into his hands, but in the other, I'm so impressed that I actually wouldn't mind if I did. Plus, he clearly knows me really well, too well, I would say, and so he might be right. All right,
hold on, Dex. Do you think Judd will step into the trap?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
I do. I think Derek is Brian Flores. He's going to force you to make the turnover. He's going to force you into his hands, literally.
If what I heard from the Phil and Declan predictions reflect mine, there is a good chance. The only question is
pretty
when.
accurate. Okay.
Prediction 1, 2, or 3. All right, prediction 1.
Write this down.
Here we go. God, I love this. I love the tension. All right, prediction 1. Will Reichert will make 2 or more field goal attempts on Sunday against the Giants in his first NFL game. 2 or more.
Okay.
Now, are we going to be
all buzz or ding? I don't know what my own was. So you guys have to shout it out.
But you know what mine is and Declan's is. And we know what yours is.
Well, I'll ding it, I guess. I wouldn't. There's nothing to buzz really.
Right.
No, I guess the buzzer would come at the end. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're clear. Judd's clear.
Write that down.
Over to Dex.
You never know.
All right. First one from me. The Vikings will attempt at least one non-quarterback pass against the Giants on Sunday.
Wow.
So a wide receiver, a running back, a punter, etc. Am I about to be dinged right here?
I don't think so.
Oh, God, you were hovering. I know your body language when you're about to hit the button bar. So I noticed one of these moments. I know your cues, man. So I was convinced.
I don't think so. No, I think you're clear.
Dinged for a correct prediction for Derek. But one non-quarterback pass. I love a non-quarterback pass. I think we'll see some nice trickery from O'Connell early against the Giants.
I will say, not to spoil too much, it's kind of like rectangle is a square, square is a rectangle, or whatever. There was room there for you to walk into it, but you did not walk into it. So
write that down.
Okay, John, I'm going to one up you. You said 2 made field goals for Big Leg Bill, and I had this down before the show. Let's make it 3 or more for Big Leg Bill. Will Reichert will knock home at least 3 field goals in this game against the Giants.
Write this down.
Write it down. Okay, I'm clear. Clear?
For now. Well, yeah, but there's still 2 more predictions.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Back to
Like
Judd
Seagal is stalking you.
with his
Weird
tight
fine
jeans
for
and a
now,
kendo
but
stick.
We're early in the film. We're early in the film. Seagal might get you after all. All right, prediction number 2. Nick
Write
Mullins.
it down. You like writing things down.
Nick Mullins will play in no fewer than 2 games for the Vikings this season. So he'll either play because Darnold gets benched. If Darnold plays so well that they're blowing teams out and he checks in, this counts because that's an assumption as well. But Nick Mullins will play in no fewer than 2 games for the Vikings this season, or he gets hurt.
Okay. I could see how Derek might fight this one, but I don't think it reaches the threshold.
Well, we can allow him. He's still here. So once we get done, I think we can
we gotta
air
wait.
grievances.
If there's a protest in there, Derek, then just keep it in your mind because you don't want to spoil anything.
I don't think he'll forget.
Okay, back over to the Dexter.
All right. Second one for me. Write this down. The Vikings will execute a successful screen pass that results in a first down or touchdown against the Giants. They will finally get this damn screen game correct. So a successful screen pass that results in a first down or a touchdown for the Vikings on Sunday. Write it down.
Okay. You're clear on the Derek prediction there, but that would be great. Could we just get you
one.
look at some of these
I'm
other
not
teams like the
asking for a
Lions
lot.
and some of these teams that you'll see a 35-yard screenplay break out once every other game. Just be nice to live in that world.
Write this down.
Okay, my second prediction here. Write this down.
Write this down.
Let's go with this one. Let's do a PFF grade parlay for this game against the Giants.
Oh,
So
okay.
among the 5 highest graded Vikings defensive players who play at least, we'll say 15 snaps as a minimum. Within the top 5 highest graded defensive players for the Vikings will be Ivan Pace, Andrew Van Ginkel, my guy, and Josh Metellus. So it could be any order, but those 3 guys will land in the.
Sure.
And I think this is a touchdown because it's kind of a 3-item parlay. It's
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
okay.
In
Clear?
fact, yes.
Yes, clear.
Yes, you're
Write this
clear.
down.
You're clear.
Okay.
I thought about it for a second, but I might be facially reacting right now to Derek's predictions just
Sure.
just for fun.
Just to,
It's like I'm Pete Mackey. Yeah, you're clear on that one. Okay, that's fine.
Pete,
And Josh, shout out. I went and talked
He
to
has
him.
been stone cold stunner here. He has been very stoned.
I went and
Stone
talked
cold.
to Metellus in the locker room on Monday. Big fan of the show.
Yeah. Well, you were the only one that what
that's
he,
right.
he,
Yeah, I know.
he came
Remains
in
a
the
big fan of
Score
the show.
Studios a few
I walked
months
up to
ago.
him like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Hey, Judd, what's up?" I
Sports
said,
Dad.
"Yeah, Sports Dad. Yeah, Josh and I are tight. You know,
Oh,
it's
so
between
tight.
Royce and Josh.
Yeah, you guys are just. I could see all 3 of you guys going clubbing, hanging out
Write
together.
this down.
All right.
Here we go.
Final prediction.
Yep.
I'm nervous now
So-
because
there's
this
tension.
could be it. This could be it. I could step on the landmine. I could step in it. I don't know.
I think he's got it. I think you're going to do it.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Is it quarterbacks? It's clearly something involving quarterbacks. It's clearly something involving. I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
Okay, so write this down. The NFL's new kickoff rule, which is being used on a 1-year experimental basis, will be changed before next season. They are going to find this does not minimize concussions,
Okay.
which is supposedly what they're claiming it will do. Now, you could argue they are actually trying to get more offense back into the game and that they're just saying it's about concussions. But I think what they're going to find is they're going to find a spike in concussions. And therefore, this will be a 1-year. And I'm not predicting how it's changed. It's just going to be changed.
Okay. I think we got to buzz Derek on the Judd predictions here.
Yeah.
So unless Derek wants to fight, Derek's Judd prediction was that Judd would make a negative prediction today, or a Dallas Turner prediction, or a Dallas Turner
good.
prediction.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
even though you kind of alluded to Sam Darnold playing like horse crap and getting benched, you sort of
Well, but I said
you made it more about Nick Mullins is going to play a little bit, and
well, no, I said that it also could be if they win big, which I don't, I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah,
that he could
the way
be
you
put
framed
in.
it was not
I'm
negative
not-
necessarily.
I got to
toward-
be honest. This is one time where Sports Dad is not really like this is as optimistic as I've been because I see the direction here. So I feel like I've been pretty consistent since training camp started.
Yeah.
I've crapped on some players who deserve
Right.
it, but I feel
Yep.
like I have not
Yeah.
crapped on this team because I'm not that down about this team.
Yet. Anyways. Okay.
Well, yeah, it could change.
So we're back over
Sorry,
to Declan here.
All right, third and final prediction for me. Write this down.
this down.
I think Brian Flores will have some fun against the Giants, and the Vikings will force at least 2 turnovers against the Giants. So multiple turnovers for the Vikings defense, fumble recoveries, interceptions, etc. They'll force at least 2 turnovers against the Giants. Write it down.
Boy, good dodging by Declan too. So Declan,
I think I know what it is.
what do you think it is?
That the Vikings would execute a fake punt. Was it specific in that?
Kind of. It was Dex will make a prediction based on a betting line or a special teams related prediction of some kind.
I mean, I
So-
originally had it as fake punt. I changed it last night.
Derek,
last
you
night,
had it, dude.
I prepped it, and then I was like, that really pigeonholes me. What if it's a wide receiver pass? I want that,
Yeah.
so I'll just combine them into one.
So
That's what I meant when it was like a rectangle is a square, or no, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square.
Darn it.
Right.
I got to chime in here. So Declan said the word fake punt, and Judd said Darnold getting benched. Maybe
That's
those
true.
two.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the subjectivity. So yeah, Declan he listed off.
He said the words.
He did, in retrospect, you're not wrong.
All right. We need, come on. Right. We're at like 28%. We need some help.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I think he's on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, I said the words fake punt.
You did say the words fake punt.
These are going to be touchdowns too, because you're literally
they're
making
specific.
Yeah,
they're specific.
He did, and then Judd did refer to Darnold getting benched, which would be a negative.
I think those two paired together. Well, I don't need both of them.
No,
those two paired together.
You're getting both of them.
No,
wow,
this is good. You stated your case, and
right.
you bring up good points. Let's see if you can go 3 for 3 here, Derek. Here's my final prediction.
Write this down.
Last season, the Vikings eclipsed 25 rush attempts in only 6 of their games. So they just didn't even try to run the ball. On Sunday against the Giants, that's the Vikings and the Giants on Fox. It's Kenny Albert, Jonathan Velma. The Vikings will run the ball at least 25 times in their game against the Giants. So it'll be 25 or more rush attempts, however it happens.
Sure.
It could be 25 handoffs to Aaron Jones. I don't know. Josh Dobbs could magically appear and scramble 6 times. I don't care how it happens. 25 or more rush attempts. Yep. Write it down.
Hey, Phil, take off your headset quickly, because I feel like the three of us need to have a quick discussion.
Oh,
here,
this is unprecedented.
Yep, and turn that down. The way I interpret.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can tell.
Okay, go ahead. Does it matter anymore? I can't hear you, but I made my prediction.
Yeah.
I can't hear the. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
The way I interpret this is, I think that Derek should get the life of the show. So I know that these were predictions about predictions, but Declan, it's my opinion that the quarterback cesspool challenge which we are about to do next, which will be a part of the show. If he says what Derek predicted in the life of this show, I think he should remain eligible to get that point.
Okay. My only gripe with that is you basically, because he originally said Kirk Cousins, he was going to make a Kirk Cousins reference, and then you kind of pushed back and said if he mentions it on quarterback cesspool challenge, it's not a touchdown. So we kind of changed the parameters of the prediction from, in my opinion, your judgment. So I personally don't think we can then go back and then make it back in. I mean, and Derek, this is his prediction, but that's kind of how
that's fair.
I look at that.
That's fair. That's why I felt the committee should at least discuss this. So,
Derek, are you satisfied with that ruling?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Perfect. Phil, you can come back.
Yeah, but I just wanted to clarify. Complete clarity there to me was important. But I mean, you did a hell of a job. You got 2 of the 3, so that was really good.
Okay.
So only 2 of the 3 there?
Yeah. But there was a discussion to be had.
So Derek's prediction against you, Phil, was you will make a Kirk Cousins prediction. Judd had wanted to have a conversation because Derek's original prediction was you will reference Kirk Cousins on today's show, and he wanted that to be a touchdown. However, Judd originally pushed back and said, well, if he mentions him during quarterback cesspool challenge, it's probably not a touchdown because it's all encompassing.
Yep.
And then Judd wanted to have another huddle and say, can we still count that in the quarterback cesspool challenge? And I said, well, you kind of took that away. I don't think we think anything
I closed
can
the
put
loophole,
it back.
but I wanted to make sure. But I wanted to make sure, in fairness, just in case, in the cesspool challenge, Phil picked Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's on my big board. Here. He's on my big board for today.
He's on mine too. But I mean,
this was fun.
This is an unprecedented, and first of all, thank you, because it was fun.
Yes.
But this was an unprecedented, and I felt like the person making the predictions should get every opportunity. 2 or 3 is great, but I love this. That was really good.
Yeah, Derek,
Thanks,
awesome, innovative stuff here today. And since you have this life-changing platform now, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get to this peak moment?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife. She knows all your guys' voices pretty well. She's putting up with me over the years. She always asks, "Why do you follow them so closely? Still, they just make you mad and disappoint you." And the payoff, they will win a
Us or
Super
the
Bowl.
Vikings?
Yeah, right. Yes.
Both.
Now they will win a Super Bowl eventually, and the payoff is going to be that much greater for putting up with all this. Like the last 6 years were just kind of just the most boring in Vikings history. I feel like almost.
Yeah.
Kind of knew what you were going to get, let down. But it was kind of exciting.
Vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream.
6-year period. What was going on with the 6-year period as far as the quarterback goes in that time period?
This is how you see. You could have, if we would have waited till the end of
well, that's
Derek's
what I'm
thank
saying.
yous.
I feel like next time, if this happens again, it should be the life of the entire show.
Amazing, Derek. Hey, thanks for coming on. We'll definitely do this again with you sometime in the near future, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
There he is,
Thank
guest
you.
listener predictor Derek.
That's awesome.
Derek might want to fire up the old app Dex, the old Underdog app, with how he's rolling.
Yeah, man, we get I'll have to talk to our guys at Underdog. 0.5 references of Kirk Cousins on a show. I don't know if we can get those at Underdog Fantasy, but I did make my picks for Week 1 against the Giants on Underdog Fantasy, and you can ride with me, you can fade me. Let's go over some of these predictions here on higher or lower. Sam Darnold, let's go over a 35.5 longest completion. Can we get a 36-yard completion to maybe a Justin Jefferson or a Jordan Addison? That's the first item. Second, just a fumble for Daniel Jones. He likes to scramble around a lot. Is someone going to swipe that ball out? Just takes one fumble for that. And then the Aaron Jones game, the establish the run game, 51.5 rushing yards. I'll also take higher on that. I saw we had a good amount of signups yesterday from our Purple Daily audience, so thank you very much. You can use promo code SCORE. That will get you up to a 50% bonus and up to $1,000. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. And if you get any awesome winning pick'ems from over the weekend, send them my way. I'll show them on the show. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy.
Hey, Park Dental is my new dentist. Very excited about Park Dental. So I was dentist-less for I'll be honest, all right? It was like a year and a half. Hadn't gotten my teeth cleaned by a professional. I do brush twice a day and floss when I can, but it was very nice. My old dentist retired, and so I was in the market, and some friends and coworkers started floating Park Dental. So I started creeping around, looking at reviews and comments on the internet because I don't want just anyone putting your hands in my mouth. And Park Dental was, and you can see video here on the YouTube channel. This is me just roaming around, meeting everyone, receptionists. The staff was amazing. For over 50 years, Park Dental has been caring for and cleaning teeth in Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. Even some professional athletes locally. Maybe we can uncover those names. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the names of some of the pro athletes.
HIPAA laws.
Yeah.
Don't you do it.
But you can schedule your checkup at parkdental.com. That's parkdental.com. It's time, gentlemen, for the quarterback cesspool challenge.
Oh,
I'm so glad it's back.
got a title to defend.
It is back.
And I have a strategy that's changed.
And the rules have changed. The rules have changed a little bit based on requests from the listeners. So part of our challenge last year was, we used to do this on the radio like 8 years ago. We brought it back last year on Purple Daily. The goal is to celebrate bad quarterback play every week in the National Football League. For as many Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jacksons, there's a lot of really bad quarterbacks, and the Vikings might have one. Let's be honest about this. If the Vikings with Sam Darnold, he might be picked early and often. But the biggest change in the rules from last year is we were picking individual quarterbacks last year. You could pick a quarterback once and only once all season. But what would happen is you might make a pick of a quarterback on a Wednesday, and then that quarterback doesn't play on Sunday, and we were assigning average QBR scores for if your quarterback didn't play. And so a bunch of listeners requested, why don't you just do team quarterbacks? So that's what we changed the rule to this year. It's going to be each member of the show will draft a team quarterback. We have to pick 3 different ones each week. So if Judd picks such and such, I can't pick the same one. And you can only pick a team quarterback once per season. So once you use Vikings, you can't use Vikings again all season. And the scoring is going to be QBR on a 0 to 100 scale. So we're hunting for the lowest QBR, which encompasses everything, passing, running, everything. So any questions from you guys before we dive into our picks?
No. In
We
fact,
good?
I like the changelessness. Thank you.
I think
Good
the only
idea.
thing I'd be confused by is like, so let's say a backup comes in for, I don't know, 5 snaps. And that backup, and he just played like a series or something, and that backup has a lower QBR than the guy you picked on the starting quarterback. So that like technicality gets you a win. That's what I'm confused by.
Yep. So that's a good question. And that's why we're going to go, it'll be the team QBR for whoever, if they use 3 quarterbacks on that day, it'll be the team QBR for that team on that day. Now, where I will say, if a wide receiver throws a pass or a punter throws a pass, this is where things get a little complicated. I don't even know if you would register a QBR, but so here's what we can do, because the way ESPN does it is they'll give, let's say 2 quarterbacks play. They'll give each quarterback an individual QBR, and we can go off of like pass attempts for the ratio. So let's say one quarterback throws 80% of the pass attempts, and the other quarterback throws 20%. Then we will assign 80% weight to the quarterback A's QBR, 20% weight to the quarterback B's QBR. The only, we could go back to individual quarterbacks, but the problem is if a quarterback doesn't play, it's a buzzkill, and we're assigning like an arbitrary number.
That's part of the game. Is you're picking a quarterback, and if that guy gets hurt early, or if something happens in the injury report, like tough luck. I don't know. I'm a little against this.
It also opens up, if you're leading late in the season or looking to mount a comeback and a 50 QBR, because what we were doing is if your quarterback doesn't play, you get assigned a 50 QBR, which is an average QBR. Right. Well, there's times where it might make sense to pick a quarterback that's not going to play potentially and game the system to get a 50 QBR to like hold your score.
Are we concerned that a quarterback's going to go out and the backup's going to come in and like be good or I mean, what
I'm not concerned about that because you're picking a team QBR. You're picking like the Giants.
But I'm asking Declan, what's the concern here? Like what are you worried about?
I would want like a minimum of pass attempts then. Like I would want a minimum of pass attempps because also
for what? It's a team QBR.
But wouldn't a QBR be like skewed also if the backup comes in and balls out for that one series?
No, because
it's still
a team QBR. So if 100 quarterbacks are somehow allowed to play in a game and they all throw a pass, you get the QBR of the team's pass attempts.
All right. I'm a little against this, but
I feel like it should have been talked about now beforehand.
I agree.
We literally agreed on this at the end of last year's quarterback cesspool challenge.
I got no problem with this.
We need to hash this out now. We're not leaving until we.
On the record, I have no problem because I don't think like if I pick the Giants, right, and Daniel Jones on Sunday sucks and he gets benched, I'm not concerned his backup Slappy is going to come in and like skew the QBR horribly. I think it's just going to be crappy. So my mission's accomplished.
So Declan, you would like us to just keep what we did last year, which is you select a quarterback.
Yes.
Okay, we did talk about this. It's come back to me now. Here's my problem. Then 50 is too high.
Okay.
So like if we're gonna do that and your quarterback,
or is it too low?
No, it's too high. It's too high. So I think that if the quarterback, because Declan wants the quarterback that I think if that QB does not play, then you should be assigned a grade basically of 0 because your guy didn't play.
No, but
0,
but 0 means that you win.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying the worst QBR possible then.
So 100?
Which could drastically skew. So if there's any chance that a guy might not play,
I have no protest with this. Okay.
Okay,
so
I'm okay. Hey, listen.
On the record, I'm for this.
I'm okay with individual quarterbacks if we can agree on if the guy that you pick on a Wednesday twists his ankle Friday practice or is like a game time decision, an hour before the game and doesn't play, that we have a proper score that we all feel comfortable with. And it's been 50 in the past, but then you can game the system. If we make it 75, say, hey, your quarterback doesn't play and you get punished for I'm okay. I'd be okay with that if you guys wanted to just increase the punishment score.
And just an FYI, because I really don't know how the QBR sausage is made, so I'm going to bring it back to a box score game here because I found this. So last year,
off the rails. I love this.
Mac Jones, I believe, technically made a start, but Bailey Zappi ended up playing more. One of those two, because remember, like the Patriots were like playing both their quarterbacks. It was very bizarre. So Mac Jones had a 6.6 QBR. Bailey Zappi had a 19.2 QBR, but there's nothing listed for the team QBR.
Right.
They don't post that. So are you saying you would take the lowest of that QBR and that would count as that individual?
I'm saying if we do team QBR, I'm saying we would go the extra step that ESPN's box score doesn't, and we would either go off of on a per snap or per pass attempt basis. We would wait. So let's say there's 100 snaps in the game and quarterback A. By the way, if you're still listening to this or watching this, thank you guys. We need to push through this because we need to define these rules.
I mean, I'm good with the pass attempt. That's what I threw out. I'm good with the pass attempts thing. I'm good with that.
I'm kind of back to individual quarterbacks now. If we assign a 75 default score instead of 50. So you get punished if your quarterback doesn't play. It's terrible luck and you get screwed.
Okay.
If you don't, by the way, here's another one. If your quarterback is ruled out between Wednesday and Sunday, you do have the option on our text thread to send in an alternate pick. But if you don't and your quarterback doesn't play, we don't want anyone gaming the system here.
Just like fantasy football, your lineups are set.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Deck sounds like he's cool with that. Judd, are you even still paying attention to the show at this point?
No. Let's just go.
Okay. So last year's reigning defending quarterback cesspool challenge winner, Declan, is going to get the first overall pick here for week 1. Judd, you get the second pick, and I will take the third pick.
Okay. Pick for me here. First pick. I'm actually going to go a little off the grid with my first pick. I want to have as many bad quarterbacks at my disposal later on this season. So instead of picking maybe a more obvious name, I'm actually going to take Aaron Rodgers with my first pick in the quarterback cesspool challenge, who has the Niners in prime time. I don't know what type of Aaron Rodgers we'll get. I do know the 49ers defense is damn good. So I will actually ride with a more known name here. And I will ride with Aaron Rodgers with my first pick in the quarterback cesspool challenge.
Okay. Judley?
Oh, boy. I've got sort of the same thing, but, I mean, week 1 is such a wild card as far as who does what. I'm going to go with Bo Nix making his debut at Seattle.
Okay.
Bo Nix in Seattle. Bo Nix looked awesome against defenses with no scheme. Now there's going to be a scheme.
Yeah.
So go with Bo Nix.
All right. I have to pick one of these quarterbacks in the Vikings-Giants game. I have to. And I know it's a home game for Daniel Jones. But he's Daniel Jones, man. He sucks. And this is going to be the Vikings' organizational revenge against Daniel Jones. They will destroy what they created 2 years ago with that Ed Donachelle defense. Give me Daniel Jones against the NASCAR fronts of Brian Flores' defense. There is your quarterback cesspool challenge. By the way, presented in part by our friends at Nicolay Law. Nicolay Law, the exclusive.
They've never been so sorry to present something in their lives. They're like, why do we do this?
Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets injured, ordinary life can come to a stop. Things can get complicated. During that time, insurance companies may pressure you. Nicolay Law is here to help you get the compensation you deserve after an accident. So if you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay. You can start your path to winning at nicolaylaw.com or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAY. What notes are you taking? Are you just have you mentally ejected from this show 10 minutes ago?
No. I'm actually going through the predictions to write them down because I always forget them on Sunday when I'm trying to watch the games and be like, No.
Who did I
no,
pick
no.
again? Hey, Phil.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, we're fine now. We're fine. We're good.
We also have a bonus episode of Purple Daily later on today. We got a depth chart. We got
Which
some
we
other
won't
fun
talk
questions.
about minutia statistics and how we're going to interpret them for purposes of gaming.
Or maybe we will.
I don't think
This
so.
is Purple Daily, daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.